Hello, outcasts! It's been a minute since Season 2 of Wednesday concluded, and you may be wondering, what's the deal with Season 3? And with Netflix just making the season cast announcement and cleverly and infuriatingly giving us crumbles of information in that teaser, let's have a look at what we know about Season 3 as of February 2026. First things first, when will it come out? It has become a harsh reality for fans of the small screen that there will now be years between seasons of their favorite shows. And while we are unlikely to have to wait 3 years like we did after the first season, we most likely will have to wait a couple. The show has just gone into production with a turnaround time of 8 months, bringing us, say, to late 2026. But most notably, the show was absent from Netflix's 2026 preview, indicating a 2027 release. I wonder how tall Eugene and Pugsley will be by then. As to how many episodes will be released at a time, Netflix has moved from a single dump to multiple dumps for its key shows, so we will likely see something like that. But who knows, maybe by 2027 they will have changed their ways and moved to the old school 1 episode per week schedule, as old-timers like myself have recommended. We finally have the cast announcement, and predictably, all the usual suspects are in the returning cast. Given the enormous success of the show and the very low turnover between Season 1 and 2, I don't see what better thing any of the cast members had to do other than return for Season 3. Heck, even some people that died in Season 1 came back for Season 2. We have several notable additions, one of those Netflix had already informed us about, the casting of mysterious Aunt Ophelia. Many of us were bamboozled about who she would be in Season 2, but now we know that Eva Green, with experience of being blonde in Tim Burton's Dark Shadows, will be Ophelia. It feels like good casting to me, and certainly indicates that Ophelia will play a big role in Season 3. But before we get into that, one other small piece of casting: the show creators are looking to have Larissa Wims back for the 3rd season. And while I was somewhat critical of the way they brought her back in Season 2, I'm definitely up for seeing Wims again. Now, what should we expect to see? In contrast to Season 1, in which future planning was an afterthought, Season 2 actually went into the trouble of planning ahead. We have several storylines brewing from Season 2. The first question is, when will we return to Nevermore? You may remember that at the end of Season 2, Enid sacrificed herself by turning Alpha Wolf to save Wednesday, risking that she would stay in Alpha Wolf form forever. Wednesday, in return, enlisted Fester to go looking for her in the Canadian forests. The teaser puts Enid's future in peril once again by having her name tag burn. Unless there are some external factors we don't know, I honestly cannot see how Enid, from any storytelling perspective or commercial sense, will indeed die. She is literally the most important person in Wednesday's life. Someone Wednesday has chosen to like without being related to, that hasn't tried to murder her. At least for the start of the season, I think Enid will be safe, and Wednesday and Fester will deliver her from her predicament. I think that the search for Enid won't be too long. It could be similar to the serial killer vignette that took about 6 minutes in Season 2, or maybe a flashback. But it's hard to say it taking too much time. It would require a lot of CGI to have Enid in Alpha Wolf form, and it wouldn't be too much fun with just 2 people and 1 wolf interacting with each other. I do expect that the saunter into the woods, whenever it finishes, will have implications for Enid's season arc, which would be very welcome. While it would be interesting to have a glimpse of the outcast world outside Nevermore, the main draw of the show is seeing Wednesday engage with all the students and teachers. To add to that, the dinner table in which Lurch and Varicose are having their dance is set in the Rotwood cottage, meaning that in all likelihood the Addamses will continue being the helicopter parents we have come to love. No, not just yet. The next dangling storyline is Tyler and Capri. Will Season 3 be the redemption season of Tyler? While I agree with Jenna Ortega that Wednesday doesn't need a boyfriend or other love interest, having Tyler around has undoubtedly great results on the screen. So, will we maybe see this troubled teen stop being that murderous? He's not the most dimensional as a villain. Simply wanting to murder everyone isn't that interesting, regardless of how well Hunter Doohan can portray seething with anger. I think that maybe he's due a more interesting storyline. Which is where the now even more mysterious Isadora Capri comes in. She has recruited Tyler in her monster collective, presenting it a bit as a hippie commune. But is that what it is? Capri definitely has a backstory that wasn't fully revealed in season 2. There was even a press excerpt that we were shown mentioning more characters involved in whatever happened. And her eagerness to help the outcast community in the psychiatric facility certainly rings different with more context. Some of us thought at the time that she was there because she had something to do with a zombie, but really the most infamous inmate of that house of horrors was the Hyde. Was she there to make inquiries about him? The new information we sort of get from the cast announcement teaser about these two is interesting. Capri gets an N over her name, the N that was present in other students standing for Nevermore Academy. Does that mean that she will be back as a teacher? Will she drop Tyler at the commune and drive back to Nevermore for more monsters? And what is that O over Tyler's name supposed to mean? His last name was Galpin, his mom's maiden name was Knight. What is the O standing for? Is it for orphan? That's a bit cruel. Maybe the commune is called the Oasis or something. Expect more shenanigans involving Capri in season 3. Ooh, that rhymes. And yes, let's finally talk about the psychic in the room. Some of us thought that Ophelia would be the big bad of season 2, but the writers were only building the stage for season 3. With such a high profile casting, it is undoubted that Ophelia will be the focus of the new season. I wouldn't dare to predict how that will unfold. Will she be a mastermind or a vessel for a bigger evil? Certainly the introduction of the character in the cast announcement is appropriately murderous. And as much as I love a good matriarch, Grandmama Frump really is a piece of shit for locking up her daughter in the basement. We will hopefully be seeing a lot more of her in season 3 too. The showrunners have said that we will be seeing more Addams family members and learning more family secrets, which would definitely be welcome, as the interaction between Wednesday, Morticia and Hester was one of the most enjoyable storylines in season 2, making the already super interesting interactions between Wednesday and Morticia all the more poignant. I, for one, would definitely be happy if the villain doesn't turn out to be linked to another teenager that the Addams parents accidentally killed in their years in Nevermore. Why those two thought that Nevermore Academy would be a good place for their offspring after what they went through when they were there is beyond me. Now, there's not a lot of information we can glean from the cast announcement teaser, but glean we must. For starters, Winona, the patron saint of Netflix, is going to be playing Tabitha, and the letter indicating her allegiance is B. Much like the letter over the names of Cyrus, Daisy and Atticus. But what is B? Is it their last name? Is Winona the mother and perhaps Cyrus is the father? Is it their school? Their city? Is it linked to Chris Sarandon's Balthazar? But then the B is stylized differently. And why is he not with the rest of his family, or school or city, but instead with another question-marked bottle of champagne? My completely unsubstantiated prediction about Balthazar is, what if he is the huckster that Hester fell for per Professor Gaga Rotwood? That's why he gets paired with a question mark, and that's why he has no initial above him, because it would be F, giving his identity away. Anyway, I'm excited, and Tim Burton is excited to work with Winona, Noah Taylor, Chris Sarandon, and Eva Green again. Excitement all around. I'll leave you with a couple of smaller points. The school will indeed be in need of a new principal and new faculty members. Much like the perennially open position of Professor against Dark Arts in Harry Potter, the principal is a great way of adding tension in Nevermore Academy. Some of the cast members introduced could be filling in those openings. Finally, the only student with a somewhat interesting, unexplored backstory is our new buddy Agnes. Is the silhouette of a man shown for 3 seconds, her father, at the end of season 2 enough to warrant a B or C plot? Well, they have to find something to fill in 8 episodes. I think it could qualify. They can't keep going camping forever. Anyway, I'm already excited about it, and it's like at least a year away. And that's it from me now. I'm sure we'll hear more about the future of Wednesday as the production continues. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking or subscribing. As always, thanks for watching.